to the story that defines the news agenda this morning. The logjam between protesting farmers and the centre enters the 32nd day. Sources tell India Today that the government is going to be sending a letter to the farmer unions on Monday accepting their proposal to hold talks on 29th of December. This is of course coming in after the farmers proposed to hold talks on 4-point agenda in response to Prime Minister Modi's mega outreach. The farmers have asked the centre to discuss the modalities to repeal the new laws and the mechanism to provide legal guarantee for minimum support pricing or the MSP. They've further gone on to demand the exclusion of farmers from being penalised for stubble burning and protection of the farmers' interest in electricity amendment bill. Meanwhile, upping the ante against the centre, the farmers are likely to continue halting the toll tax collection on Punjab and Haryana highways. They continue their protests despite this winter, despite the nail-biting winter. On 30th of December, farmers are going to be holding a tractor rally, and on 1st of Jan, protesters have invited people from Delhi and Haryana to join in the stir.
The protesting farmers continue to sit at borders of Delhi for over a month now. On Saturday, farmers proposed December 29th for the 7th round of talks with centre. Farmers' proposal comes in response to Agriculture Ministry's Joint Secretary's letter allaying fears over farm laws. Responding to the letter, farmers have said that they are ready for talks, but they won't budge from their demands.
Modalities क्या हो रिपील करने के लिए एजेंडा आइटम नंबर 1, एमएसपी की लीगल गारंटी देने की मैकेनिज्म क्या होंगे और प्रोसीजर्स क्या होंगे आइटम नंबर 2। ये पराली वाला जो मामला है उसमें किसानों पे पेनल्टी का जो प्रोविजन है उसको इससे कैसे बाहर किया जाए, ये आइटम नंबर 3। इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल जो है उसका क्योंकि ड्राफ्ट है उसमें किसानों के इंटरेस्ट को कैसे प्रोटेक्ट किया जाए, उसमें क्या मॉडिफिकेशन हो ये।
The farmers also allege that centre is trying to mislead people with half-truths with its letters. Upping the ante, the farmers have decided to halt collections at Haryana and Punjab tolls.
30 तारीख को हमारे किसान ट्रैक्टर लेके मार्च करेंगे। 1 जनवरी को हमने कॉल दिया है दिल्ली के लोगों को, हरियाणा के इर्द गिर्द के लोगों को कि आओ नया साल हमारे साथ ये आइए।
This talks offer comes after Prime Minister's mega outreach to farmers over the contentious farm laws. Amidst the growing stir, Delhi Police Commissioner visited Singhu border to review the security situation there. Meanwhile, RLP chief Hanuman Beniwal, while heading towards Delhi with hundreds of farmers, has announced that his party has quit the NDA.
मैं लोकसभा के अंदर होता तो उस दिन बिल फाड़ के फेंकता और उसी दिन से निकल पड़ता। मेरी कोरोना की झूठी रिपोर्ट बता के मुझे बाहर कर दिया। उसी दिन से मैंने समर्थन बाहर आके मीडिया के माध्यम से दिया था किसान आंदोलन को समर्थन।
RLP has now become the second party to quit the alliance after Akali Dal over the 3 new farm laws.
As the farmer unions continue to huddle with the government, they have asked for 29 December to be the next date of meeting. The farmers will continue to agitate till the time that the government bucks down, but at this point of time, Singhu border seems like a mela and a city on its own. With Nasir Khan, this is Milan Sharma for India Today.
With farmers in no mood to relent, Langar service at Delhi's Singhu border is adding fuel for the farmers. The Langar service hopes to keep the tradition and spirit alive for the farmers. Here's a ground report of India Today's Milan Sharma on that.
We're at the Singhu border and this protest has completed a month where the farmers marched all the way from Punjab and Haryana, came to Singhu border, and here this month-long movement would not have been possible if not for Langar and the service and seva of the Sikh community. I'm here with one such group, seva group. It's called the Midland Langar Seva Society, and not just from India, but people from across the world have come here. They are from the United Kingdom. So thank you so much for speaking to India Today. How did you realize that, you know, there's a huge movement that's going on here? How did you realize that you have to come to India and be a part of the farmers' agitation?
We realised as soon as the protest started, part of our organisation is to do seva, no matter where it is worldwide, not only just India, other parts of the world as well. When we realise a lot of the protesters are elderly people, our Buzurgs, some 70, 75, 80, we felt that we should be here and support them not only with food, not only with langar, with medical assistance as well.
In fact, we'd just like to step inside and just see, what is being made right now. These are the things that you have brought. So there's tea being made and pakoda being made throughout the day.
It's been, we started about from the first day when this process started, and the tea and pakoras from the same day, and then slowly people start donating different stuff. Like they came over here, they just walk past, what do you need? I said, we don't need anything, do whatever you want.
Everybody living outside India are very, very concerned, but this is the reason why we had to be here on the ground to sort of represent England, to show that we're here on your behalf, and it's not as bad as the people are being fed, people are being looked after, and the locals are very, very supportive.
Well, that's the message that is being sent here, and look at the kind of things around you, and this is all seva. People come here, people give things to each other, and they make sure. We know that the protest has seen a lot of international attention as well, but we have seen how citizens from the United Kingdom, from other countries have also come forward and helped in each and every way to make this protest not just any farmer protest, but a farmers movement for the century. With Nasir Khan, this is Milan Sharma for India Today.
Bengal BJP chief Dilip Ghosh has issued a stern warning to TMC against violence. Ghosh has said that the Saffron Party does not believe in violence, but if its workers are attacked, then they could hit back hard. Speaking at a rally in South 24 Parganas, Ghosh, known for his aggressive stance, said that in case of violence, the retaliation would be so hard that even the hospital supplies could run dry. In the past too, Ghosh has made such remarks warning the TMC of avenging violence. The BJP has alleged that over 100 of its party workers have been killed in political violence, while the TMC calls the charge baseless.
আমরা ভদ্রলোক ভদ্রভাবে রাজনীতি করি, সংবিধান মানি, আইন মানি, কিন্তু এরকম ভাববেন না যে আমাদের হাত পা নেই। মুখও আছে, হাত পাও আছে, এবং সেটা ভালোই চলে মুখের মতো। যেদিন সত্যি সত্যি মারতে আরম্ভ করব, ব্যান্ডেজ বাঁধার জায়গা পাবে না কেউ, বলে দিচ্ছি।
Prime Minister Modi hailed the DDC polls in Jammu and Kashmir as historic and launched the Ayushman Bharat scheme to extend health insurance benefits to all residents of UT. Prime Minister also lashed out at Rahul Gandhi and Mamata Banerjee. Here's a look.
The agenda was Kashmir. Rollout of Ayushman Bharat scheme for all residents of the Union Territory. But it was the opposition which got an earful.
दिल्ली में कुछ लोग
Attacking the Congress without naming it, he said some people offer him lessons in democracy, but they don't hold panchayat polls in Puducherry despite a Supreme Court order.
ये जम्मू कश्मीर देखिए, यूटी बनने के इतने कम समय में त्रिस्तरीय पंचायती राज व्यवस्था को स्वीकार करके काम आगे बढ़ाया। लेकिन दूसरी ओर विडंबना देखिए, पुडुचेरी में पंचायत और म्युनिसिपल इलेक्शन नहीं हो रहे हैं, और जो मुझे यहां रोज लोकतंत्र के पाठ पढ़ाते हैं ना, उनकी पार्टी वहां राज कर रही है।
This jibe was in response to Rahul Gandhi's charge that there was no democracy in India.
ये आप किस देश की बात कर रहे हो? ये कौन सी देश की बात कर रहे हो डेमोक्रेसी? ये मतलब कौन से देश की बात कर रहे हो? इंडिया की बात कर रहे हो? इंडिया में कोई डेमोक्रेसी नहीं है। डेमोक्रेसी इंडिया में ये मतलब आपके इमेजिनेशन में हो सकती है, मगर रियलिटी में है नहीं।
After Rahul, the Prime Minister trained his guns on Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, asserting that the people in Bengal are deprived of the central healthcare scheme.
आप मान लीजिए मुंबई गए हैं और अचानक जरूरत पड़ी तो ये कार्ड मुंबई में भी आपके काम आएगा। आप चेन्नई गए तो वहां भी काम आएगा, वहां के अस्पताल भी मुफ्त में आपकी सेवा करेगी। आप कोलकाता गए हैं तो वहां मुश्किल होगा, क्योंकि वहां की सरकार आयुष्मान योजना से नहीं जुड़ी है। कुछ लोग होते हैं, क्या करें।
Prime Minister Modi hailed the recently concluded DDC polls in Jammu and Kashmir as a moment of pride for India and assured that centre has undertaken all-round development of Jammu and Kashmir.
आज जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों का विकास हमारी सरकार की सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकताओं में से एक है। हमारी सरकार राज्य की भलाई के लिए हर फैसले ले रही है।
Prime Minister said that the scheme will extend financial cover of up to rupees 5 lakh per family on a floater basis to all residents of the Union Territory.
अभी तक आयुष्मान भारत योजना का लाभ राज्य के करीब 6 लाख परिवारों को मिल रहा था। अब सेहत योजना के बाद यही लाभ करीब 21 लाख परिवारों को मिलेगा।
The benefits of the Sehat scheme can be availed across the country. Residents of Jammu and Kashmir can avail benefit from this health insurance scheme in hospitals across the nation. With inputs from Sunil Bhatt, Bureau Report, India Today.
In more trouble for the Congress party, ally Shiv Sena has called the UPA dead man walking while stressing on the need to unite the opposition. Sena's mouthpiece Samna has slammed the Congress party, saying that it failed to put pressure on the Modi government. While questioning Rahul Gandhi's leadership, it also lauded NCP chief Sharad Pawar as the only visible face of the UPA. Here's more on that story.
Back-to-back poll droppings. Desertions to BJP. 23 senior leaders writing to Sonia Gandhi demanding a complete party overhaul. The list of Congress's woes just goes on. And now the party is caught in the crosshairs of its own allies. Shiv Sena's mouthpiece Samna has launched a no-holds-barred attack on the Congress, blaming it for the divided opposition. Samna editorial states that farmers' agitation is not yielding results because Modi government thinks there is no political threat to them. It accuses Congress and the UPA of failing to put pressure on centre and labelled the alliance as a dead man walking.
बीजेपी एक मजबूत स्थिति में है, मोदी जी का नेतृत्व मजबूत स्थिति में है, लेकिन उनके सामने यूपी और यूपीए जो है उनको भी एक संग एक मजबूत ताकत के रूप में हमको बनाना पड़ेगा। ये हमने आज कहा है।
शिवसेना के साथ हमारा जो गठबंधन हुआ है वो महाराष्ट्र की हद तक सीमित है और वो भी एक कॉमन मिनिमम प्रोग्राम के तहत ये फैसला हुआ है। शिवसेना अभी भी कानूनी तौर पर यूपीए की अभी घटक पार्टी नहीं हुई है, यूपीए की कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट पार्टी नहीं हुई है। ये जो पार्टी यूपीए में ही नहीं है उन्होंने यूपीए के नेतृत्व के बारे में सलाह देना उचित है, ऐसा मैं नहीं मानता हूं।
The editorial went on to say that the UPA is in shambles and needs leadership to unite the opposition. Sena mouthpiece batted for Sharad Pawar to take over the reins, saying he's the only visible face in the UPA and that his experience and guidance is sought even by Prime Minister Modi. Samna editorial also added that UPA needs more regional parties, but many of them like Mamta's TMC are unwilling to join the current UPA fold. The rumblings within UPA gave BJP the ammunition to target Congress.
इस प्रकार का अपमान वो कब तक सहेंगे? क्या सिंहासन के लालच में कांग्रेस ने अपना स्वाभिमान खो दिया है? लिखते समय शिवसेना नेता यह भी भूल जाते हैं कि वे भी एक विरोधी दल में हैं। केवल और केवल शरद पवार जी की चापलूसी छोड़ करके इन्हें और कुछ दिखता नहीं है।
The Shiv Sena editorial calls for a revamp in the UPA and has positioned NCP's Sharad Pawar as the possible new face for the united opposition. But the big question is, can mere leadership change turn around opposition fortunes?
Next on the line of attack was Rahul Gandhi. Sena mouthpiece said that while he is doing enough, there is something lacking in his leadership and the Congress needs a full-time president. With many states headed for polls in 2021, the leadership vacuum has once again come back to haunt the opposition. And with Samna questioning Rahul's ability to lead, the big question is, who will lead the charge to take on the Modi-Shah juggernaut? With Saurabh Vakhtania and Mustafa Sheikh in Mumbai. Bureau Report, India Today.
And India is gearing up for a massive vaccination drive, and preparations are on at full swing for a possible vaccine rollout in Jan. To assess the readiness of the planned activities, the centre has now planned a mega dry run in 4 states: Punjab, Gujarat, Assam and Andhra Pradesh. This 2-day activity is planned on 28th and 29th of December. As a part of this drill, necessary data entries will be entered in the CoWIN app. Different teams are going to be allocated and arrangements are going to be made to ensure that there is no crowding at the vaccination centres. As a part of the centre's COVID immunisation drill, the readiness of the cold storage facilities, transportation arrangements are also going to be chalked out.
Krishna district has been selected for COVID vaccine dry run. Day 1 we will take up all logistics arrangements, selection of session sites, preparation of session sites, and 5 session sites have been identified. 1 teaching hospital, 1 private hospital, 1 rural area PHC, 1 urban health center has been selected in Vijayawada, and 5th we have selected a building in Tadi Gadapa village, which is in Penamalur Mandal. So like this we will go ahead and prepare all this.
पंजाब के अंदर 2 ज़िले जो हैं, जिनमें लुधियाना और शहीद भगत सिंह नगर, इन 2 ज़िलों को ड्राई रन के लिए चुना गया है. ड्राई रन जो होना उसका डे 0 होगा 27th को, संडे वाले दिन, 28th मंडे डे 1 और 29th ट्यूसडे डे 2 होगा.
Superstar Rajinikanth, who was admitted to Apollo Hospital in Hyderabad on Friday, is stable. The statement released by the hospital last evening has stated that reports of some of the investigations have come out and there is nothing alarming. It added that a decision on Rajini's discharge from the hospital is going to be taken today based on the remaining tests and his blood pressure status. Prayers are pouring in for Rajini's speedy recovery. BJP leader Khushbu Sundar tweeted saying that she spoke to Rajini's daughter and hoped that he will be discharged soon. Malayalam superstar Mammootty also wished Rajinikanth a quick recovery. The 70-year-old actor was admitted to the hospital on Friday after he had slight fluctuation in blood pressure levels.
Superstar Rajinikanth's fans are praying for a speedy recovery. After the actor was admitted to a hospital in Hyderabad on Friday following fluctuations in his blood pressure levels. On Saturday, the hospital released a health bulletin stating that Rajinikanth's blood pressure is still high, but his condition is stable. Talaiva's test reports have not raised any alarm so far, and the doctors will be taking a decision on his hospital discharge on Sunday. The hospital has also confirmed that the superstar hasn't shown any COVID symptoms. Rajini's health scare could worry his fans, as just a few days back, 4 crew members of his upcoming film Annathe had tested positive for COVID. The superstar, however, tested negative for COVID on the 22nd of December.
Fans have started coming in here and they are putting these messages.
So we are praying from yesterday that all total Tamil Nadu and total world, all Rajini fans are praying for him to get well soon and to go to Chennai and start his party.
Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister EPS and actor turned Neta Kamal Hassan wished speedy recovery to Rajinikanth. Rajini's health condition has now put a question mark on the actor's political plunge, as he was expected to announce his launch date of his party on the 31st of December ahead of Tamil Nadu Assembly polls in 2021. Rajinikanth had delayed his political plunge for months now over health concerns earlier as well.
Big disappointment for all those people who had been waiting for the 31st of December event. It's still uncertain whether things will go as per schedule or not. His well-wishers and close aides of RMM have been suggesting that things might not go as per schedule, taking into account that Rajinikanth needs immense rest as suggested by hospital officials. What we need to really wait and watch is that with just 5 months left for the state assembly elections, will this affect Rajinikanth's big entry into politics? With camera person Daniel in Chennai and Ashish Pandey in Hyderabad, this is Akshay Nath for India Today.
Welcome back. India has lost both Shubham Gill and Cheteshwar Pujara early on the second day of the Boxing Day test against Australia. Shubham was dismissed 5 short of a maiden test 50. Pat Cummins picked up both the wickets for the host. The speedster bowled an exceptional spell, was rewarded with the wickets of Gill and Pujara, both caught behind. Ajinkya Rahane and Hanuma Vihari were at the crease for India. The visitors are 90-3 at lunch and trail by 105 runs.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.